guys, this is your reading for Friday the 15th of December. Thanks for joining me. Let's have a look at what's coming up today. And I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite deck again. Okay, so what have we got? We have got the Queen of Swords, the Devil, and the Emperor in reverse. So the Queen of Swords is someone who thinks very clearly and who's able to make tough decisions without getting overly emotional about them, and who is a judge, basically. This is someone who says, you know, you've done wrong, you need to be punished, or this is not positive, so we're going to cut this out of our lives, or this is something that's really liberating and wonderful, so we're going to put more energy into it, and we're going to provide funding, and we're going to make this a reality. So the Queen of Swords thinks clearly, but she hasn't got any heart. So she can veer off into negative thinking at times, and she can, because the thing is, the ego sits in our heads, you know, and if you look at the Course in Miracles, it says that the devil is such, the ego, negativity, things that keep us stuck and keep us trapped, those things reside in our minds. And that's why it's so important to get out of yourself, to be of service to other people, to listen to your intuition, to listen to your heart, because that's where your higher self, your true self resides. Your head is where sometimes the negativity sits. We all need an intellect, we all need a mind to be able to function on planet Earth. You know, I'm speaking to you right now because my brain learned how to speak English at 10 years old, and that's why I can actually speak to you. So using the mind is a positive thing that we need to do. But if we just sit in our heads like the Queen of Swords, then we can become negative, and we can forget about our spiritual natures, and we can forget about all the joy and all the positivity, because we just look at things from a very intellectual and even critical perspective. The devil is interesting because the devil doesn't represent the devil as such in terms of the Christian Satan, you know, going to hell and all of that. The devil represents being focused too much on the physical, and because you're focused on the physical, the pentagram being upside down, so earth, air, fire, water, overpowering spirit, that final point of the pentacle, which means again, you're in trouble because you've forgotten about your true spiritual strength, your true spiritual power, and you're too much in your head about things. And when you're too much in your head about things, you tend to get stuck like these two poor people. I can't get out of this job because I am living month to month, and I need to get the next month's paycheck so I can pay for Christmas and I can do all of this. It makes you kind of, your life becomes very, very small when you think like that, and you forget about the bigger picture. So if you're living kind of month to month because of finances, or this relationship is so bad, let me just get through this day and then tomorrow I'll deal with it, that kind of thing is in place, and that's what you experience when you forget about your true divine nature and your divine power. Because in truth, you can say, I don't need this job anymore. I could do something that is totally different, that pays me in a completely different way, and I can create total financial freedom for myself in my life, so I don't actually have to work. You know, that's a possibility. But the devil is such, looking at the circumstances and the current realities of your life, is never going to enable you to do that, because it keeps you stuck. And it keeps these chains around you, and it makes you feel like there's no way out. Now, the good news is that the Emperor is in reverse. The Emperor is solidity, permanence, structure. This is the way things are always going to be. And he's in reverse. So what the cards are saying is that this is a temporary situation. And all you need to do today to turn things around is to remember that you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and not just a human meat bag with nothing else going for it. When you, that's rather unpleasant image. When you remember really that there's so much more to you than just your body or your looks or your circumstances, That's when you're able to blow up your existing circumstances in a way, to tap into this energy of Aries and to really push forward with your life because you see something bigger, because you have a dream, because you realize that bigger and greater and better things are on the horizon for you, and you're not going to accept the current limitations of your life. You're not just going to think about things negatively and, oh, poor me, things are never going to change and I'm stuck and this whole situation is terrible and it's always going to be terrible. It's not. It's a temporary situation. You have a lot of control over that. Remember your power, tap into your fiery energy and really get rid of the things that don't work for you. So cut that chain. You have the power to do it. Free yourself, liberate yourself, and just walk off and do something different. Make different decisions, and you'll get different results. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So do something differently today. Remember that you are really a child of the universe and that nothing has power over you, nothing has dominion over you, and you can make your circumstances whatever you want them to be. Change is hard, it doesn't feel comfortable, it doesn't feel easy, but if you're willing to make the changes, then you don't really need to suffer the negative circumstances of your life, and certainly you don't need to feel sorry for yourself because your life is so hard, because there's always something that we can do to make things better. Number-wise, we've got a chord card which is 1, and 15 is 16. 16 and 4 is 20, and 20 reduces to 2 in numerology, and 2 is about relationships. 1 and 2 is a relationship. It's also about cooperation, and it's also about connecting with something other than yourself. So the solution to the problem is 1, remembering your spiritual nature, so connecting with either your higher self or a power greater than yourself if you're spiritually inclined, or it's about connecting with another human being and saying, I need some help to get out of this situation, please help me. If the two of them were to actually ignore this awful presence looming over them, and they said, how can we get out of this situation? They would realize that they can help each other. For instance, he can use his burning tail there to kind of get rid of the chain, and then they're both free. So if you feel sorry for yourself, or if you feel stuck, or if you feel things are difficult, make sure you connect with a power greater than yourself, or with another person. Pick up the phone, speak to someone, say, I'm struggling with this, I could use some help, I could use some support, and the support and help will be given to you so that this situation, which seems permanent, can be turned around and you can make changes to it. So it's a really positive day in a sense that you recognize something that doesn't work for you and you have the energy and the power to really resolve it and get rid of it so you can have a more positive experience on a day-to-day basis. So that's what I get for you on this day. I hope it gives you something to work with. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology in my readings. The astrology chart gives me really a blueprint of your soul. It shows me why you've come back into this lifetime, what you want to achieve this time around. If you're unsure of what your vocational aptitudes are, so what you're going to be good at work-wise, and for some of us, that takes a while to figure out, especially if it's something unconventional. Most, vocational counselors or psychologists don't say, oh, be a holistic astrologer, because they just aren't aware of that, so they can't tell you. So if you'd like to have a look at what you're going to be good at work-wise, what your real what you've been gifted with in terms of your career, or if you want to look at what's coming up in future in your love life, or whether a relationship is going to work out, whether you're compatible with another human being, what's coming up in your finances, in your family life, in terms of spiritual progress, friendships, travel, moving, buying or selling houses, or investing. If you've got any questions at all, then get in touch via gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel for daily videos, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.